Hey guys, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank from the round of Duck Comics, and we'll get right into it with Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge and Only a Poor Old Man. So this is technically, the first Uncle Scrooge comic. Before the character had appeared in Donald Duck comics like Christmas on Bear Mountain, The Old Castle Secret, Yoicks a Fox, and so on and so forth. But here, this story is Scrooge's story. And so let's get right into it, and it sets up a great premise for Scrooge. Alright, by posing a fundamental question. If you had 14 umpteen centrifugajillion dollars, what would you do with it? Well, rich old Scrooge McDuck has has that much money. This is what he does with it. He dives around it like a porpoise, burrow through it like a gopher, and toss it up, let him hit him on the head. But that's not why he's brought Donald here, to show off. No, he's brought Donald off to let him know that he's at the point in his life where, he needs to focus on success, achieving something great. And Donald, being a bit sort of casual about, rich like you, Uncle Scrooge? Like, yes, there's no greater comfort than having a fortune like mine. Oh, hang on, let me get my gun. There's a moth here. Shoots them off, alright? They eat through $1 million of greenbacks, alright? He's got a mousetrap. Oh, hang on here. Take care of rats. This is sort of setting up the sort of idea that's the sort of lie Scrooge tells himself. Well, at least the reality of it is. Scrooge says, okay, it's a great comfort, a great life to have this much money, but you also spend a lot of time trying to keep it safe. And this, of course, all interrupted by a large construction project going on next door. Someone's bought up the lot next door, and then moving in stuff to build a building. So Don's like, what does it matter? And she was like, you ignoramus? That building could be a blind spot, alright? Robert, it could be the settings for the greatest theft in history. My money, alright? They can build it, they can punch a hole in, take all the money, and I'll be destitute. Alright? Because apparently all of my money's here. It's a weird thing. Well, it'll be fleshed out later on. But accept it here that if that goes, he's done.
Oh, Angoli!
Donald thinks, you know what? Uncle Scrooge being crazy. All right, let's just go down, be rational, and I'm sure it's all perfectly fine. It's not fine. It's the Beagle Boys who bought the lot. And Donald's like, oh no, they're the worst criminals in the country. You can mean that to two things. They're very dangerous criminals, and they're very bad at their job criminals. Take it how you will. But he realized, like, oh boy, Uncle Scrooge is in trouble. So he goes like, put on your fright wig, Uncle Scrooge. It's the Beagle Boys. And, yeah. So Donald calls the boys down, like, look, bring a sandwich. We have to help Uncle Scrooge calm down a bit. And so, in that moment, Scrooge is sort of laying in his money bin, and he's talking to the boys. He goes, I suppose you boys wonder why I love my money so much. And they're like, yeah, we'd kind of like to know, because, you're just hoarding it. And Scrooge sort of lets us know, like, this money means something. Every coin, every dollar tells a story. And one of the nephews, I'm going to guess Louis, since I think this entire story Louis has nothing to say, asks, how'd you make all this money, Uncle Scrooge? And the banking business? Scrooge goes, banking? Banking? Wussy money, alright? I made it on the seas and the mines and the cattle wars of the old frontier. I made it by being tougher than the toughies and smarter than the smarties. And I made it square. He then picks up a coin like this dollar. 1898. Got that in the Klondike. Froze my fingers to the bone digging nuggets out of the creeks. And I bought a fortune out instead of spending it in the honky-tonks and saloons. This dollar here, 1882. Got it in Montana where I punched cows while I was looking for a homestead. And the other whiteys laughed at me when I found a claim that was all mountains and rocks. But I poked around and I knew that under that scrubby grass was 1/3 of the world's known copper. Oh, cool. And so Scrooge sort of takes him, kisses it a bit, like, you'd love your money too, boys, if you got it the way I did. By thinking a little harder than the other guy, by jumping a little quicker down. I was like, okay, look, this story's been great and all, love it, but the Beagle Boys, they're digging like beavers. And Scrooge sort of found his resolve. The The Beagle Boys, common thieves. I'm rested now. I know how to deal with their ilk. So, Donald, so what's your plan? I'm like, it's easy. Easy. I'm going to do exactly what I did when I had to hide my money from Mongols. Yeah. So, boys, I want you to follow that truck, see if they're dumping all that stuff. Donald, here's some money. All right, go down to the hardware store and pick me up some stuff. And Scrooge is feeling pretty good right now. He's like, you know what? Like, I feel like my old self again. The Scrooge McDuck who gummed up the James boys and outfoxed the Daltons. So later it turns out that, the nephews come in like, yeah, they're dumping it all in the reservoir on Cedar Creek. Like, I got it. I'll buy the reservoir on the down low. So meanwhile, using the tools Donald bought, Scrooge built a little door on the money bin. And what happens is that the little chute right there is right where the Beagle Boys stop the truck. And Scrooge opens up a little chute, pours some money in, and the Beagle Boys cover it with dirt. Then they go to dump it into the Cedar Creek Reservoir. I went, oh, okay, cool. And so, more days of toil and whatnot. And they'll get, the Beagle Boys are all set. Like, hey, we're in. Blow the hole in. It's empty. No. No. But anyway, so meanwhile, at the old Cedar Creek, Scrooge has got the boys, building up, fortifying the lake effectively. Landmines, booby traps, alarms, all for 30 cents an hour. Nice. So when it's all said and done, Scrooge picks up some of the money, just sort of looks at it like, yeah, that's nice. But wait, what am I going to do with all this? Like, if I spread it out on the banks, people will see it. But if I leave it down there, mud will rot the greenbacks. Like, what do I do? Oh, this is bad. What do I do? It's like, maybe I need to remember. When I was salvaging treasure on the Spanish Main, I found lots of paper on the sea bottom. Old charts and letters that never decayed because they were in jars. I got it! Donald, get me some mason jars! And like a lot of mason jars. Don't pick up like 2. Buy all the mason jars, Donald. So all is well. So the question is, money's safe. What now, Uncle Scrooge? Well, there's a problem. I missed my money swim. See, the problem is, I can't swim through it in water. It's just not my style. So I need to build like a little island, a little thing for me to swim through. I'm like, oh, is that safe? It'll be fine. Meanwhile, the Beagle Boys are sort of feeling real bad about this whole thing. Because, all the manpower, the hours, it pretty much looked like honest work. And because it didn't steal anything, technically it was honest work. And presumably, let's say that all was paid for. Legitimately, to, not raise suspicion. It's wasted money now. On the plus side, they do own a lovely building. So whatever. So one of the Beagle Boys like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go fishing, just clear my head. And so while Scrooge is swimming through his money, having fun, diving through it like a porpoise, burrowing through it like a gopher, tosses coins up, let it hit him on the head. He's feeling it. All right? And one of the Beagle Boys like, why is there a fence up here? He climbs up a tree to see what's going on, like, ooh. He's like, yeah. Runs back. He's seen it. But either way, job seems to be done. Don and the boys would like to be paid. And for 30 cents an hour, all this time, they owe Scrooge owes them $80. $80? I'm like, all right. Scrooge, being Scrooge, like, that's way too much money. I tell you what. I'll let you fish for your money. So take these purses with these fishing rods, and whatever you scoop up, you can keep. All right? So the appeal, of course, is you have a chance to get more than you thought. But Scrooge being Scrooge, he put all the pennies closer to the shore, which technically is smart because no one would think twice if they see some pennies on the lake. Oh, here's some pennies. All right, whatever. But the Beagle Boys can't help themselves. Go like, hey, can we go fishing too? Scrooge's like, Okay, we gotta do something. Okay, so I need your help. All right, I need your help. All right, they're gonna come here with helicopters and whatnot, tanks to take the money. And Donald's like, they can't just rob you openly. It's against the law. And I'm like, Donald. Okay, I want you to point out, it being a crime didn't stop them trying to steal it the first time. All right. They'll figure out some way to get my money. They'll keep coming at me till they wear me out. All right, so like, you guys gotta stay. It's like, oh man, fine, we'll stay. The boys come later and say like, hey, Uncle Scrooge, the Beagle Boys bought the land down the creek. I'm like, Scrooge's like, they're gonna blow up the dam. All right, no, all right. So then the war begins. All right. So first, the Beagle Boys take, they lift up a magnifying glass. Or using the sun, they're going to burn a hole into the dam. All right, Scrooge went, Donald, fire the cannon. Boom, fire the cannon. All right, so that takes care of the magnifying glass. What happens next? Dewey calls Scrooge down like, hey, I was doing some fishing. Scrooge's like, why are you fishing? Like, Uncle Scrooge, shut up. All right, this fish is ticking. He's like, oh my God, there's a bomb. They're trying to blow up the dam. All right, so what next? Huey's like, Uncle Scrooge, they got trained cormorants to come in and swoop up money. I'm like, that is nowhere near clever enough to work. All right, see what they're bringing. And Huey goes the extra mile like, Uncle Scrooge, they're bringing napalm bombs down there. I'm like, Scrooge is like, okay, let's see if I remember this. All right, tweet, jabber, quack, funk, honk, and then turn around. Scrooge goes, yep, I know cormorant language. I trained thousands of them when I was in the pearl trade in Asia. Apparently, he told them also to drop the napalm bombs on the Beagle Boys. This is getting kind of dark. But, all's fair in love, Warren. My money. So they go to plan 4. All right? So they're going to make a thundercloud. And the whole point is the thundercloud will strike the dam. And Scrooge's like, I got you. All right. So, Donald, take this. I need you to fasten the end of this copper wire onto the cannonball and shoot it in line into the Beagle Boys' dooryard. All right. And then Huey, get to the cabin, get the lightning rod, and go from there. All right. They're making it. Lightning strikes. Cannonball goes. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. We're in. So Beagle Boys like, okay, run out of ideas here. All right. Hang on. 176840, because remember, back then the Beagle Boys didn't have names. That's pretty much a DuckTales 89 creation. 87 creation. And so what happens? I've genetically engineered termites. Like, you can do that. And we're just trying to steal. Dude, whatever. Okay, fine, whatever. So the Beagle Boys put up an idea. They plan a story in the morning paper about, apparently, wooden dams are ideal spots for termites. Didn't realize that was a radical idea, but it's the 50s. What do I know? I didn't think about termites. So Donald, find a way to take care of these termites. So 2 mysterious figures sound like, hey, these beetles eat termites. Like, oh, look at that. Bought them. Turns out eating it, and Huey reads like, Uncle Scrooge with a note in his jar. It says like, you know what? We'll start spending your money in the morning. Thanks for planting our super termites. And like, I've been swoggled. Like, no. So now the horrible race against time happens as they try to kill the termites and switch out the wood they're eating. It doesn't work. The Beagle Boys are all set and ready. According to Huey, the termites are reproducing every 4 minutes. That's not enough time. It's just terrible. There's nothing more that can be done. And an explosion of wood, water, and I don't have a currency word for starts with W, and coins. The dam bursts. And it just... Yeah, Scrooge's like, yep, it's over. I'm broke. My whole fortune literally went down the creek. Donald's like, but you can still get it back. There's laws, Uncle. There's laws, Uncle Scrooge. She's like, Donald, why are you bad at this? Under the laws of floods and debris, the money now belongs to the Beagle Boys. All they have to do is go to court and claim the money as silt deposited on their land by the flood. And I don't quite think that's how that works, but again, what do I know about laws of floods and debris? So the Beagle Boys are basking in their new wealth, like, you know what? Scrooge McDuck's no longer the richest man in the world. Us Beagle Boys is the richest. And Scrooge's like, oh my god, oh my god. And Scrooge's like, yep, they got me.
It's finally happened. I've been outwitted,
Basil, please.
beaten, duped, made a fool of. Oh, ridiculed, belittled.
That's enough!
They outsmarted me. The Beagle Boys with their new tricks. Oh, I know the old tricks. Yes, I remember that old time, like in Baghdad. Ah.
Knows how to fly.
Set it off now. Set it off now? Yeah. Yes, we'll set the trap off now!
Well, never mind. Let's go congratulate my new rich neighbors. Donald's ready to throw hands. Let's throw some spoiled eggs at him. The boys like, Uncle Scrooge got that look on his face. It's about to get wild. So, 176856, one selection. We just go down, declare this, get it all nice and legal, call it a day. And, like, no, here comes Scrooge. Let's see what's on his mind. He's like, boys, congratulations. You got me good. It's, I had my brains. You boys have them. I got outsmarted. Win some, lose some. You do what you can. But, I used to have a brain as sharp as yours, but now I'm head soft like a tomato. And could you grant this old man one last favor? I'd just like to have one last swim in this muddy bin before you haul it away. He's like, what? You swim? Yeah. And like, yeah, go ahead, old man. All right. Scrooge goes through like, see how I dive around in it like a porpoise and burrow through it like a gopher and toss him, hit me on the head? It's the thing. It's what rich people do. You're rich men. Come on. Getting the money. And they do. And, yeah, so here's the thing. If you dive headfirst into something, kids, if you hear a crack, well, first of all, if you heard the crack, you're probably going to be fine. But if you didn't yeah, also there were 7 of them. I did not know there were 7 of them. But anyway. It's a solid wall. Look at that. Those heads are now soft as a tomato. And now they'll be unconscious for weeks. No, months. And to think it happened before any of them could get to court and claim my money. Shame. Huey, Dewey, and Louie decide to ask the better question of what's going on here. Not the fact that you sure the Beagle Boys aren't just dead, Uncle Scrooge. It's like, wait, how did you swim through that money and not get hurt? And Scrooge goes, I'll admit it, it's a trick. He's like, anyway, let's get some bulldozers and trucks and haul this money out, and we're good. So Donald's like, you know what? This has been fun, Uncle Scrooge. It actually has been fun. We should probably never do this again. We not just get paid and call it a day. He's like, no, not yet, Donald. I've yet to teach you the beauty and the benefits of being rich like me. Donald's had enough. He's like, you know what? Just give us the money, shut up, and we'll go. And Donald says something like, you may not know Uncle Scrooge, but your billions are a pain in the neck. You're only a poor old man. Goodbye. Scrooge stands there, a bit crestfallen, a bit shocked. He responds to go, kid talk. No man is poor who can do what he likes to do once in a while, and I like to dive around in my money like a porpoise, burrow through like a gopher, and toss it up and hit me on the head. I'm like, yeah, there we go. Nothing of any real merit was learned. So that is the first Uncle Scrooge comic. Proper Uncle Scrooge comic. As in, this story is Scrooge's story. And honestly, it is so much fun. Scrooge here is framed not just as someone who's maybe a bit ignorant of how difficult his life really is, or doesn't want to admit how difficult his life is. He's a character who's shown he has a breadth of knowledge and experience. He's a bit nervous sometimes when it comes to his money, but he brings with him, again, that wealth of experience and wisdom of someone who's lived a long, hard, and fulfilling life. So, sort of, I think when Scrooge tells Don, like, there's no greater joy or comfort than having my life. He's not talking about the money. It's like, no, that entire life was just great. From a lore standpoint, in addition to the obvious, this is the basis for Rosa's life as Scrooge, hint, hint. The whole concept of money being dumped in the lake was used for the Super DuckTales story in the DuckTales 87 cartoon, Liquid Assets, which introduces Fenton Crackshell, love him or hate him, you know how I feel about him, and Gizmo Duck. The whole point is the Beagle Boys doing something, and Scrooge, Fenton decides to hide the money in the lake. And hilarity ensues, the difference being it's not really Scrooge's story, it's Fenton's. And this is sort of the problem with this era of DuckTales. But neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Ultimately, Uncle Scrooge Only Poor Old Man sells you a Scrooge that I think is integral to every other version of the character that comes. Scrooge should always be someone who loves his money, someone who thinks he's living a great life, love or hate it, someone who again brings that wealth of knowledge, someone who's quick on his feet, who may be a bit panicky sometimes, but won't needs like a good minute, and he's like, I got it, because his greatest weapon is going to be the mind, and that's what I love about this character. Even if he's not going to be that physical juggernaut that he is in, say, Rosa or the D17 version, he's still going to be the person who can sort of outthink his way out of most problems. Is that really what inspires all my other favorite characters? Let's see. Bernard from Rescuers, Merlin, Doctor Who. Wow, this is... Okay, so we just learned something about myself here. But anyway, enough of that. We're here to talk about how good this story is. The Beagle Boys, I felt, were really fun here. They didn't do much until the end of it. Until, like, the third act, when, they find out where the money is. Otherwise, it's sort of like this presence that Scrooge must evade. And Scrooge's plan is pretty sneaky. It's pretty brilliant in its subtlety. But the way he wins the end, I think, works too, because he's playing on the fact that the Beagle Boys don't think. All right, they're smart, but they're stupid, and that's sort of like the idea here. What undoes the Beagle Boys is their own hubris. All right, Scrooge plays up the poor old man very well for the first time. The only time he's ever acted like that before was when he thought he was going to lose. So he goes like, "Can you help? Can you help an old man relive one last memory? I want to swim in the money." And instead of going, this man's been, pretty on top of things this whole time. Maybe we should be... No. I know he's outsmarted us years. I know he's outsmarted us before, and his nephew's outsmarted us. But no, we've got this. We can't lose. And lo and behold, they lose. Also, I'm pretty sure those Beagle Boys died. But anyway, with that in mind, let's bring us to a close. If you're new to Bucket Think, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, smash the thumbs up button. I'll catch you all later. This is Bucket Think signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may your fandom serve you well.
Smile, everyone.